Good morning, Mr. Marsh, staff and students. My name is Reese Evans, and along with Aisha Redmond, we'll be chairpersons for today's ceremony.
On behalf of the staff and students of Gymea Technology High School, Reese and I would like to welcome you to our Year 7 showcase.
Our showcase is a celebration for our year group. It is the culmination of the school year for both staff and students, and is a special occasion where we recognise our achievements for 2020.
Please stand quietly for the national anthem. The anthem will be sung by the Year 10 vocal quartet comprising Maze Baker, Natasha Brabant, Laura Cox and Maya Simmons. They will be accompanied by Dr. Hasty on the piano.
We at Gymea Technology High School would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Darwin Nation, who are the traditional custodians of this land. We respect the spiritual connections that the Gadigal people have within their country. We also recognise the cultural contributions that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have made in today's society. We would like to pay respect to elders both past and present, and extend the respect to other Aboriginal people present.
Thank you, Zoe. Could I invite our principal, Mr. Marsh, to the stage to deliver his address?
Good morning, everyone. I would also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which this assembly is taking place this morning, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. The acknowledgement of country is an important one, and well done. We're a nation that has a very long, deep cultural history, and recently we even saw the national anthem sang in the Eora language at an international test, a rugby test, but still an international stage. And I think this country's moving on and acknowledging our deep history. And it's something we need to celebrate, and we do really well each year. We do it through multicultural days, we do it through our NAIDOC assemblies, and we certainly need and continue to express that acknowledgement here today and celebrate the rich culture that is and does exist in our society. Congratulations, guys. Our showcase assembly is it's a showcase of you. It's sad, unfortunately, a challenging year. We didn't get to do this with your families, and we didn't get to do it in term one, like a transition and pretty much a graduation from Head Start to high school. Nevertheless, you got here through a very challenging year, and today we'll showcase some of that. And we did take some media, and I want to acknowledge quite a few people who've put this together. I start from Mr. Liley, who's organised this setup, Mr. Reynolds, who's led that multimedia team, Ms. Kukataris and your year advisors, Ms. Forshu and Mr. Vamakaris, who have gathered the organisation of this assembly, to Mrs. Edwards and the team who've put all the multimedia together. We've had Year 10s, Year 9s, Year 8s, a lot of people come together to help you celebrate this in a really wonderful way. So I'd like to acknowledge and thank them. And just behind me, the one who always sits in the dark is Mrs. Cooper, who behind the scenes continually organises these prizes with the help of the office staff and making sure that these assemblies, and today's one, runs really smoothly. And Dr. Hasty has probably gone, and I do thank our vocalist and Dr. Hasty for the continued support. I spoke to the other assemblies already. We had 3 on Friday. And I reminisced through a very challenging year. And I shared with them some things to remember. And I'll go over some of them. Do you remember when toilet paper was something you fought over? Do you remember when we cancelled sport for the very first time? Do you remember how excited you were when we sent you home? You just got to high school and then we said, go home. didn't turn out as quite as great as some we thought. Remember when you were allowed to come back to school for a single day? Some of you loved the part-time, didn't you? Yeah? But you missed school. Can I tell you, your teachers missed you as well. But that challenging time, guys, it followed a horrible time in New South Wales and Queensland and Victoria as we've seen the most horrific bushfires this country has ever seen, certainly in my lifetime. But what it displayed during those bushfire times, and certainly through this pandemic, is how well people come together when it matters, how well people come together in times of crisis. This year was a challenging year for a lot of people, for everyone, and not just from COVID. There is a lot of things that interfere with our lives that we need to battle through. We need to gather strength. And we do that through the strength of others, working together and supporting each other. By making sure, just like all those volunteers that served on the fire fronts in January, we're talking about the firefighters, the emergency services, all those people who gave money for food, for shelter, for clothing. Everyone chips in, and I think when things matter, it's nice knowing we live in a community, in a country where people look after each other. You are a wonderful group of young individuals. When you arrived in this hall at the beginning of the year, I said you are no longer children. You are in a young person's environment. And as you move through this year and graduate this year, and that's what this showcase is, it is a graduation, I want you to keep your mind focused on how well you can do by working with others. That collaboration is great strength. But in times of crisis also comes this concept of resourcefulness and innovation. This year, no doubt, we had to look at different ways to do things. And I want to compliment your teachers now. Because when you went off, mostly excited, some not, went off to remote learn from home, your teachers were very reluctant to go home. They were anxious themselves. They have people too. They've got family they're worried about. They're worried about that virus that was quite a scare through the community. It's had such devastation around the world. They're worried too. But they didn't want to go until they got it right for you. Our teachers got together during that time and worked so well. They pulled all their resourcefulness. They learnt new things. We looked at innovative ways to communicate, innovative ways to set learning for you. It probably wasn't exciting all the time. Some of you struggled with it from the outset. Some struggled and improved. Some of you did quite well and others were asking for more. But nevertheless, it was one model that we could deliver over a long period of time, and we've learnt lessons from it. So much so, the Department of Education has Gymea Technology High School as case study number 1 of an exemplary practice during COVID and what we've learnt from it. And it's been publicised. Your teachers, I had to push them to go home a little bit. It's enough, guys. You're doing well. Get home and start delivering that remote learning. But they didn't want. They wanted to make sure they got it right for you. And that typifies this spirit that I'm talking about, those qualities about looking after others. That sometimes there are things bigger than ourselves. And I think as you head into next year, and I know as you head into next year, the challenges of this year need to be your strength. You have demonstrated you are capable of great things. As you work towards year 8 and through year 8, and you've already passed that transition, I know it's a long way to the high school certificate or year 10, but you need to bring out your very best with attending school, very best with doing your homework and formative tasks, very best in focusing in the classroom, very best of enjoying whatever opportunity this school gives you. We expect great things of you, but we also know, as a set of individuals, as you sit in front of me today, you are in one of the best schools in New South Wales. You are a lovely bunch of individuals. You really are. Never forget who you are, and never forget what you're capable of. I want to wish you a very enjoyable holiday break, and come back next year fully energised and ready to give it your best. With that, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and congratulations today and to all the award winners. Thank you.
I would like to invite Mr. Marsh and Mrs. Edwards to the stage to present the special awards for Year 7.
Our first award for today is the Ducks of Year 7. This award is sponsored by our Parents and Citizens Association and is presented to a student who performed exceptionally well across all courses. This year, the Ducks of Year 7 is Hannah De Caries. Hannah ranked first in mathematics, first in history, second in English, and has ranked in the top 8 in French, art, geography, technology A, and PDHPE. She has consistently displayed a quietly conscientious approach to her studies across all of her courses this year, working diligently to complete all of her exams, her assignments, and her homework tasks to the best of her ability. Hannah regularly engages in quality discussions about concepts with her peers to deepen her understanding. Hannah was identified as the highest academically achieving student in Year 7. Congratulations, Hannah. Our next award is the Miranda RSL Sub-Branch Award for Personal Excellence. This award is sponsored by the Sutherland District Trade Union Club and is presented to a student who has shown high achievement across a range of subjects, who demonstrates exemplary conduct and has been actively involved in school events. This year, the recipient of the Personal Excellence Award is Aisha Redman. Aisha ranked first in English and French, second in Technology A and Visual Arts, and in the top 8 in Science, History and Geography. Aisha has diligently engaged in all of her courses, regularly making perceptive and mature contributions to class discussions and offering to be assistance to her teachers both in and out of the classroom on all occasions. Congratulations, Aisha.